I'd like to call the meeting to order. If you could take a moment of silence, please. Please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act, a public notice of this meeting has been sent to board members, all district schools, the Herald News, the Suburban Trends, the Record, the Messenger, West Milford Town Hall, the County Superintendent's Office, the Board Attorney, Cablevision of Warwick, and West Milford TV 77, and posted in the Administration Building. Copies of the board meeting calendar resolution were provided to all local media, Town Hall, Township Library, and all district schools. Roll call.
Mrs. Romeo?
She's
Mrs. Stevenson? Mr. Conklin?
Here.
Mrs. Dwyer? Here. Mr. Bruno?
Here.
Mrs. O'Brien?
here.
Mr. Flocker?
Here.
Mr. Stillman?
Here.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Here. Before we go into executive session, we're going to let our student representative read her report. You're not going to do your one.
No, I'll do mine after executive session. We can let Ms. Weiss go. This will be her last meeting with us. Our next board event meeting will be after high school graduation, at which point she'll no longer be a student, she'll be an alumnus.
You could come back if you want.
She's like. We do have a plot for you. Unfortunately, there are some supply chain issues. We do not have it tonight, but I'll walk over to the high school when it does come in. So Ms. Weiss will be graduating in a few weeks and attending Rutgers, New Brunswick. And I believe she'll be majoring in biomedical engineering. So thank you for your service.
Yes. So at the high school right now, our boys lacrosse team just made history in their recent game in the county finals against Wayne Hills. For the first time ever, the 2022 boys lacrosse team was named county champs, and we wish them good luck in the first round of states tomorrow at 4:30. We'd also like to congratulate AJ Jelonic for being named the class of 2022's valedictorian, and Val Gorilla for being the class of 2022's salutatorian. They both worked super hard throughout their high school journey, and their title is well deserved. As the end of the year is approaching, we have many events planned at the high school. We have our Highlander Fallen preschoolers graduating next Wednesday, May 25th, in the high school auditorium. Also on the 25th is the annual Community Scholarship and Awards program at 6 p.m. in the auditorium. Highlander Day is scheduled for next Thursday, May 26th, on the field behind the high school starting at 12. It's been a while since we've had a Highlander Day, but along with the high schoolers, we're inviting the 8th graders to come over and check out what our high school has to offer. And the annual Senior Choice Awards is scheduled for June 1st in the auditorium starting at 7. Senior prom is scheduled for June 2nd at the Tides, 5 to 9, and yearbooks are being distributed on June 9th. So we have lots of fun stuff coming up for the end of the year. And that's all for me today. So thank you.
Well, we love having you, and we wish you all the best, and hopefully we'll hear about you come back on Alumni Day, and we'll get to see you, but we'll also see you at graduation. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Take care. Could she take a nameplate?
Yes, she can take her name, but yeah. Yeah. No problem. Karen?
At 8:06 p.m., I make a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing HIVs, negotiations, HIV appeals, and matters of attorney-client privilege. The executive session minutes will not be released until such time as the privilege or confidentiality is no longer applicable, and we will be gone for 60 minutes. But obviously we'll come back. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So we're going to go into executive session and we'll be back in an hour. Thank you.
No.
I need a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to extend executive session for an additional 30 minutes until 9:41.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll be back in a half hour.
I will do it.
Um,
I'm gonna leave it, I'm gonna do it.
and
So I'm gonna have to do it. Here's one, here, I'm gonna have to do it.
that's because Barbara cut your hair.
Terry's having hot sweats.
No, I thought maybe this was really the break that you.
Yeah, that's it. And good was the cause of horrible. I'd like to call the meeting back to order. Roll call, Barb?
Mrs. Williams? Here. Mrs. Peterson, absent. Mrs. Simmons?
Here.
Mrs. Williams?
Here.
Mrs. O'Brien?
Here.
Mr. Lino?
Here.
Mrs. Lockwood? Here. Mr. Conklin?
Here.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Here. Okay, we're going to Dr. Anamone's report.
Good evening, everybody, members of the board, members of the public. We have a brief update tonight on my end. At the last board meeting, or actually two board meetings ago, we announced that we'd be starting a restructuring committee to look at our district to see if we are presently in need of 8 schools, essentially. So we did ask for parent volunteers, staff volunteers, administrative volunteers, community members. Obviously, your board of education members are all on the committee. But we had about 75 to 80 people who are interested in serving on this committee. So we broke it down into 5 subcommittees. We posted this on our website as well. The subcommittees will be instruction and personnel. That will be chaired by Mr. Novak. Special Services, that subcommittee will be chaired by Dr. McQuaid. Operations and Transportation, which will be chaired by Mrs. Francisco. Our Fiscal Subcommittee will be chaired by our Assistant BA, Mr. Schultz. And there's a Building Usage Subcommittee, which I will chair myself. So the board members and community members have all been balanced out between the different subcommittees. We've tried to get a good mix of everybody on all the subcommittees, all the different stakeholder groups. And we did open up a spot on our website, on our homepage, for the restructuring committee. This will be a repository of all documents that we have throughout this process. Meeting agendas and minutes, any kind of studies, whatever we have to share with the public. So if you can't make a board of ed meeting, if you can't make a subcommittee meeting, we'll just post it on our website, so it's one-stop shopping for everybody.
I did want to ask, it's going to be different times of day, like it's not going to be all daytime, there's going to be nighttime
It'll
because.
be both.
Okay.
I think everybody's schedule is just going to be very difficult to find one time for 20 people to meet. So we'll be moving them around. There'll be some perhaps at 4 o'clock, some at perhaps 7 o'clock, some on a Tuesday, some maybe on a Wednesday or Thursday. We will mix it up throughout the course of this process. So similar to what we did with strategic planning, we'll just move it around. So if you have a conflict one day a week, that doesn't preclude you from attending all the other meetings.
Thank you. Anything else, or that's it? Mr. Novak, Director of Education.
I just want to provide a brief update on testing. We are finishing this week with our main testing in all the buildings. I just want to comment on how smooth everything has run this year. I see some of our building principals in the room. I just want to thank everyone who was part of this process. Our building test coordinators in each building, the middle school and high school, our guidance staff, our administrators, teachers who had to implement. I mean, it was a tremendous team effort across the board. I just want to say thank you to Dr. Matlos publicly, who worked with our building test coordinators in each building to work on a staggered approach to our assessment. That gave, the feedback we're hearing is that the students felt and seemed a little bit less stressed, a little bit under the gun. They had fewer test sessions during the day. There was more flexibility. We had a number of situations throughout the administration of the assessment where we were maybe short on staff that we didn't expect on a particular day. We had to delay testing. The schedule allowed for flexibility, which allowed us to get through it. So I just want to say thank you for everyone who's involved. It was great implementation, and for the most part, we're done. Makeups will be done over the next couple of weeks.
Thank you. Also, everybody received an email from Mr. Novak about the end of the year programs at the different schools, and if you could get back to him and see which ones you can make and which ones you can't. I know they are dated on in their heart.
And I printed a copy too that I'll give to all of you before we leave tonight.
And if you get back to him, then he can coordinate everything with the building principal so that they know who's going to be there for the programs. Thank you again, Dan. Special reports and correspondence, Mrs. Francisco.
Yes, we have the April 26th meeting minutes from the regular public budget hearing and the executive session from that evening.
Okay, we need a motion.
Motion to approve the following Board of Education meeting minutes, April 26, 2022, regular public budget hearing meeting, April 26, 2022, executive session.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. No, I gave a report last week. I don't think I've gone anywhere this past week. Public comment. This portion of the meeting is open to members, excuse me, of the public for the purpose of addressing resolutions on this agenda only. Members of the public who have requested to speak prior to the meeting will be recognized by the chair first. Each speaker will be given 5 minutes for a period of 30 minutes. Then, time permitting, other public comment limited to 5 minutes per speaker will be allowed until the 30-minute time period transpires. All members of the public speaking during the public comment period are asked to address topics listed in the agenda. All speakers are asked to sign the register provided and give their full name, excuse me, spell their last name, group affiliation if appropriate, and provide their address. Issues raised by members of the public may or may not be responded to by the board. All comments will be considered and a response will be forthcoming if and when appropriate. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and respectful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Specifically, comments regarding students and employees of the board are discouraged, and the board and the administration will not respond to them. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded to them by the laws of New Jersey. The board is not responsible and is not liable for any comments made by members of the public. Members of the public should consider their comments in the light of the legal rights of those afforded or identified in their comments. Members of the public are reminded that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Anyone wishing to speak under public comment?
Seeing none, I'd like to close public comment.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We need a motion to adopt the agenda as spread before you.
Motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Any discussion? Voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Education, Mrs. Dwyer.
I'd like to move items 1 through 6 for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, Mrs. Francisco, roll call.
Mrs. Dwyer,
Yes.
Mr. Reno,
Yes.
Mr. Stillman,
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo,
Yes.
Mr. Conklin,
Yes.
Mrs. O'Brien,
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke.
Yes.
I'd like to move number 7, the recommendation from the superintendent to approve the following PIBs. 2022 E6, We Need More Information, 2022 H9 as unsubstantiated, and 2022 H10 as unsubstantiated.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mrs. Dwyer,
Yes.
Mr. Guarino,
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood,
Yes.
Mrs. O'Brien,
Yes.
Mr. Stillman,
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo,
Yes.
Mr. Conklin,
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke.
Yes. Personnel, Student Affairs, Mr. Guarino.
I'd like to move items 1 through 6 under personnel and student affairs.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, roll call?
Mr. Guarino,
I'm gonna vote yes, 1 through 5, abstain from 6.
what did you say about number 6?
Abstain?
Mrs. O'Brien,
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo, Mr. Conklin,
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer,
Yes.
Mr. Stillman,
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke.
Yes. Operations and Finance, Mr. Stillman.
Second.
So, hey,
You can look on the-
1 through,
I'm sorry.
through, no,
75.
75.
No, we can't because,
75.
yeah, it has to go to 75.
It's 75, yeah.
Ray, did you second that?
Second.
Oh. Oh. Discussion. Peyton.
24 and 25, I see that we are renewing our agreement for real time. And let's just say, with the academy, we looked into other operating systems to see the price.
The student information
The
system,
student information system, yeah.
you're questioning why why we have real time.
No. I'm questioning, Dan knows what I'm asking. I
We
mean,
didn't,
have
we
we?
didn't look to change it this year.
Why
We
would,
did not look for other bids.
And I say that only because we discussed it in education of different operating systems. We've talked about them.
student information?
Well, there are a lot of competitors for real time. Your SIS is gonna be, your student information system, there's real time, there's Skyward, there's a lot of other competitors.
I think what you're referring to, we had a conversation about Linkit, when we were trying to create the parent portal for Linkit, that Linkit didn't work naturally with real time at this point in time. So I think, was that,
That was last education meeting.
Yeah, there was multiple things discussed. So
Yeah, so
you talked about different operating systems and
Yeah, so
other things. Yes, I'm not sure if you.
Okay, yeah, when you say operating systems, it just kind of.
I think it's SIS, the student.
Real
Student
time,
information.
24 and 25, yeah. So I mean, for instance, like Genesis or something that fits with our Linkit system and our IEPs with Frontline and whatever. I was just curious if there were prices or ideas of other ones, so.
right, well, we do with Linkit, they take customer feedback, so we recommended, they are working on a real-time patch. Patch is the right word, probably better, but,
Well, real time had some problems this particular school year. We lost real time for a certain amount of time, right? Didn't we go down for, was that real time or like?
They had some kind of
Glitch.
No, it wasn't a glitch, I think that they actually had some kind of an event that,
Where it was
affected
compromised or something?
one of their hubs.
Yeah, so I think that's when we had the discussion, right?
So, two things. One, I think we don't know what Genesis costs, right? Okay. And then I'll just bring up the second piece, which was, and then we talked about getting bids for food services, and we're going with Pontonian again. We may not get any other bids.
No, we did not.
That's why I just wanted to double check.
And you did, I know that we had some conversation.
Four
Yeah,
requests, they sent out 4 requests for proposal.
And nothing came back.
Nothing came back on one.
Do we know? I mean, like Vernon uses someone different than Tony, so I know others.
Well, they have to wanna come
They
here.
have to want
Well,
to, they have to request.
They clearly come up here because
I
they
mean,
don't have.
there's a public notice in the newspaper. So we don't send things out to people randomly. We had 4 companies request the proposal, and we only got 1 response.
Okay, so we did get people requests from them.
Yeah,
Any other discussion? Okay, roll call?
Mr. Stillman,
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer,
Yes.
Mr. Guarino,
No on 24 and 25, yes on this.
Ms. O'Brien,
Yes.
Mr. Conklin,
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo,
I'm also no on 24 and 25. I just wish we had more info. And yes on the rest.
Mrs. Van Dyke.
Yes.
Did you do 77 through 79, 79?
76.
I thought we said both.
Yeah, it's payroll. I think people would like to get paid.
He wanted it
Sorry.
to be anxious.
Have
Anticipation. Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Stillman,
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer,
Yes.
Mr. Guarino,
Abstain.
Ms. O'Brien,
Yes.
Mr. Conklin,
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo,
Abstain.
Mrs. Van Dyke.
Abstain.
I'm probably break that. 77 through 79?
Second.
Discussion, Ray. Ray?
So I'm just reading 79. Are we paying Bloomingdale to transport a Bloomingdale student to Butler?
No. No, if Bloomingdale was transporting for us, they would have it on their agenda. This is a student that attends school through Bloomingdale Board of Education, attends a part-time program here, and then our transportation department is bringing them to Butler High School for the second part of their school day. So we're entering into a transportation contract with them, and they will pay us $6,000 from now until the end of the school year.
So it's a revenue source. Any other discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Marina, do you have any other questions? Did you
Just-
look puzzled?
Yeah, I'm puzzled. It doesn't read that way.
It doesn't read that.
It doesn't.
Well, it's not our student. We're entering into the
But the
contract
way
with
it's
Bloomingdale.
written says that we're,
It says a total
the
cost.
Bloomingdale Board of Education, one Bloomingdale student to Butler High School.
Yeah, because they're attending a program here, and then we're taking them to Butler High
It
School.
doesn't say anything about that.
But
Doesn't say anything about our program.
Or
That was
we're
already,
transporting.
yeah, I think that was previously approved at a prior board meeting of a student from out of district, attending one of our in-district programs as a tuition student. That
The
tuition,
transportation was brought up.
no, it's a separate resolution.
I get that.
That district is
But this
paying our
doesn't say
district,
Wait a minute, go ahead.
that district is paying us tuition to send that student, but it's not a full day program, it's a half day program. So instead of transporting back to the house, the student is being transported midday to his home high school.
It just doesn't say who's paying who. That's the piece.
if they were paying, they're paying us. Otherwise, it would be on their agenda. That they would be entering into a contract with us. And we're entering into a contract with them.
I think I agree, I have spoken to Barbara, this is how they're saying it has to be worded, but it is a student that attends school here, we're getting a tuition on that student. And then that student is being transported from West Milford half day to Butler for the second half of their day, and Bloomingdale is paying us to transport that student.
Correct, and due to the confidential nature of the student, that's why nothing else is noted in there. But I do just want to reference for the board the minutes from the April meeting in Education Committee where we talked about the shared services with Bloomingdale. So if you go back to those minutes, we talked about the special education students and us going into some shared agreements with them. So this is as a result of a prior tuition that you guys already as a receivable coming in.
So how do I know this is a receivable and not a?
Well, I guess, Mr. Brett, do we note something in there to make it,
It doesn't say it's received.
do we note that in there somewhere, would that make sense?
If we're transport, it says for us to transport somebody else. So for us to transport someone else, then they have to pay us to do it.
But nowhere in here does it say we're
Doesn't say it's a receivable.
doesn't say we're transporting.
If you want, do you want to note the student ID? I mean, I could look up this.
No,
It's not just,
West Milford, but
West Milford's not even in there.
Right, that's the thing, we,
I don't need any.
But there wouldn't be a transportation agreement otherwise.
Can we
If it
just,
wasn't,
can we just add, West Milford into this, resolution to clear it up for people?
is there a way that we can note that the student would be transported from West Milford back to Butler per agreement with Bloomingdale Board of Education for a fee, for the fee? Is that how, would it sound better? I know that it has to be a certain way, I can't write it, but, you know, I understand what you're saying, and I did call Barbara and because I knew it was a revenue, I knew it was.
Andy, why don't we just add, after agreement, pupil transportation agreement between West Milford Board of Ed and Bloomingdale Board of Ed?
Or why don't you just put one Bloomingdale parentheses tuition student? If you put tuition,
Then it's
does that
revenue
clarify
source.
it then?
Yeah, okay. It's not wanting to know the student.
Right.
Like if you read it, it sounds like we're driving to Butler, to Bloomingdale, picking up the student, taking them to Butler. That's how it reads.
And it wouldn't be out
To
of,
come.
it wouldn't be out of our way to do something like that because we have done that in the
Yeah,
past.
no, I do know that.
We've entered into transportation agreements with other districts in order to transport their students.
But this one in particular is coming, like it's coming from West Milford, too. Like we're not going down, coming back and going down again. So, I get it. Is that okay? It's okay, appropriate for everybody?
yes.
So how's it gonna be worded?
Andy, how's it gonna be worded?
We're going to insert the word.
You're not even on. Bloomingdale tuition student.
A Bloomingdale tuition student to Butler High School, Butler, New Jersey, and that's the only change that we made to this. It's acceptable.
Is that acceptable to the board?
Okay.
Any other discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Stillman,
Yes.
Mr. Guarino,
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien,
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer,
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo,
Yes.
Mr. Conklin,
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke.
Yes. Mrs. O'Brien.
Top of the evening to you kids. Under negotiations, I'd like to make a motion to approve items 1 under negotiations.
Second. Discussion?
I have a comment. I am gonna vote yes on this, and it's a reluctant yes, because we are in such dire straits financially, and I was hoping that our administrators would have stepped up and perhaps even taken a freeze this year. We have families who are having trouble putting food on the table. We're in danger of losing more staff. I just think it's just a bad time, and I'm a little disappointed, so that's all. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Roll call?
Ms. O'Brien,
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo,
Abstain.
Mr. Conklin,
Yes.
Mr. Stillman,
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood,
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer,
Yes.
Mr. Guarino,
Abstain.
Mrs. Van Dyke.
Abstain. Parks and Recreation, Mr. Conklin.
Nothing meeting Thursday.
Oh, good, okay, we'll get to the meetings. Thank you. Safety, there's no meetings on the agenda. Superintendent's Roundtable, Mrs. Blackwood?
Yeah, so these are the minutes from April 29th, written by Kelly Cinziano, the one for president. There was a question about the coordination of calendars, just making sure that the dates between schools and activities are shared. Dr. Anamone asked all PTA, PTOs to meet with their building principals to coordinate calendars before the admin coordination meeting in July, if at all possible. There was a question about students out of district, about the current 8th graders, how many will be attending a high school out of district. And I know Dr. Anamone said that PCTI informs the district of the numbers in May. And then I guess they know the ones that are going to private high schools as the parents let them know. There was a question about Kilgallen and the bathrooms and stat stands that are not usable. The bathrooms will be open May 1st, so they should be open. And Dr. Anamone did a walkthrough with Chris Kelly and some BOE representatives, me and Linda, just to walk through the snack stand and the bathrooms. There was some follow-ups about Highlander Pride and the clarification, and the PTA, PTOs are going to provide shirts for the incoming kindergartners of black and gold. So I guess every elementary is going to provide that t-shirt to the incoming kindergartners. Link it, we had an update from Mr. Novak already. And then just the updated numbers on the kindergarten registrations, and the next meeting is next Thursday.
Thank you. Passaic County School Board, Mrs. Dwyer.
We attended a meeting that celebrated the positions this year, and we look forward to the workshop in October.
New Jersey School Board, nothing. Legislative, Mrs. O'Brien.
All right, I'll try to keep this as relatively as quick as possible. On Monday, May 9th, the Senate Education Committee met and advanced the following measures. S2481, which is the Transparency in Sex and Health and Sex Education Curriculum, would establish several requirements related to the adoption of curricula implementing the New Jersey Student Learning Standards for Comprehensive Health and Physical Education. Just want to bring to the board's attention that they are recommending that the Board of Education post information on their website regarding board-approved curriculum and information regarding the process for parents to excuse their children from any part of the instruction in health, family life education, or sex education that is in conflict with their conscious or moral or religious beliefs pursuant to the existing laws. S1221 is access to female hygiene products, requiring school districts to ensure that students in grades 6 through 12 have direct access to feminine hygiene products in all school bathrooms free of charge. The state would be required to pay for the cost of providing these products. Emergency Bonding Authority, S1892, would create a streamlined process for school districts and certain municipalities to issue bonds to finance repairs to facilitate facilities and equipment damaged by natural disasters for which the state has declared a state of emergency. Learning loss reports, S2268, requires the Commissioner of Education to prepare 2 reports regarding the impact of COVID on schools and students. The first report, Learning Loss Report, is due May 1st, 2023, and would identify and qualify the impact of COVID on students' academic outcomes. The second report would summarize the continuation of school services during COVID and would be due September 30th, 2023. S2323 school council requirements would establish several requirements related to school counselor certification and employment, two of the points I'd like to bring to your attention would be that the counselors would spend at least 80% of their staff time during normal school hours providing certain school counseling services, and school counselors to complete professional development in relevant areas. The New Jersey School Board Association expressed concerns about this bill being prescribed and inappropriately restricting local flexibility to utilize school counselors. This bill is headed to State Budget and Appropriation Committee for further consideration. A big topic of discussion is A 3816 S 2462, which will require certain public schools receiving state aid to begin regular instruction for high school students no earlier than 8:30 a.m. And finally, S 464 revises conditions for use of virtual or remote instruction to meet the minimum 180-day school year requirement, and that passed the Senate.
Is that so that you could use it for snow days?
I believe so.
Well, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it? Because then our calendars could be set.
No, it's not official yet.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to hearing that because that would be just great. Thank you, Debbie.
No problem.
Technology.
So I did not attend, but I have minutes from Robert Winston. The Chromebook collection and redistribution plan for the end of this year and the start of next were presented there. So again, just like every other year, Chromebooks will be turned in. Some of them will be put out of service. Some classes will get new ones. I think it's grade 6 will get new ones, grade 9 will get new ones from that side. And then everything will just carry over. So the Chromebook you had this year will just carry over to you next year and those other grades. The phone system replacement, they reviewed several cloud phone system options. Zoom phone was selected as the best option for West Milford. They considered independent industry reviews, price, functionality, features, integration, carrier status, equipment availability, and flexibility, and review of references. With regard to the website, now that we can move forward with next year's budget, we did sign a contract with Blackboard, so you've heard us talk about that for months now. So the development in that website can begin, and they will reconvene and continue to work on the content area and planning. And then for those in the public, we did hear you with regard to the meetings and the connectivity issues and the broadcast dropping sometimes more frequently than it should. So they are returning to hardwired network connection. We're hoping that the issue is more Wi-Fi performance than it is anything else. So this meeting tonight, I think, is hardwired. Is that right, Nate? Yeah. So we're hardwired tonight. So hopefully this meeting is consistent. If not, I know that we will hear from you again. So thank you.
I did want to just add that with the Chromebooks, we're doing that agreement before they can open up.
So yeah, when they put together, Mr. Novak had a good idea that they kind of set this up in conjunction with starting the whole new website where there'll be some things that they'll have to read and acknowledge, I think, right beforehand before they
So
get
that'll be
there.
when student schedules and bus passes are released mid-August. There will be a series of parent questions that our community will be able to review and check off the student parent Chromebook agreement along with our acceptable use policy, our student code of conduct, HIM policy, those types of things. Those are required annual questions reviews. This year they'll be a little bit more straightforward. They'll appear as a parent logs into the parent portal to access the new information. So that's something that we can work on this year.
That helps you to get what you need taken care of right away before, so it's a very standard thing in most districts.
And it does make it easier, I think, for parents.
Absolutely.
To have it all in one spot, which is nice.
Is it possible to have the free lunch thing on there too?
I'm sorry, what?
That when they do all these filling out everything, is it possible to have the free lunch thing there? The form that we need to fill out, would that help with
Sure.
getting it back to everybody?
We don't give them the hard copy anymore.
Well, I'm saying if it's there when they have to sign in and sign the agreement, wouldn't it be great if it was there, because you'd probably get almost 100% responses.
That and doing drug testing for the school students, having permission slip on there, everything that's required for the kids to do.
That probably would help us, help whoever whoever clerically has to figure it all
It
out.
helps parents too, because the first 2
It's
weeks
all in one
of school
spot.
is seriously overwhelming.
And then this way it's less things that they have to do the first day of school.
One-stop shopping. I think that they are. We do get that, I think, all that lunch applications, parents are notified that applications are available in Milford.
I'm just asking because I know that in the past, that's been one of the issues, is that we don't get them back, or that they have to fill out all this other stuff. And if everything comes to you at one time, as a parent, because you're anxious to see what your kids have, as teachers, you want to see it all, but you can do it all before you log into that portal, I think that's a great
I think
idea.
it'd be amazing to be a district in New Jersey to get back 100% of.
I mean, I don't know that we would, that doesn't mean they
that people get it, it means that they filled out the form. Why would we not try to do that?
That would help us.
It's also been increasing our pre-lunch application percentage for a while now, so this is maybe something we could do to get it even higher.
It helps our title schools,
It does, the more people respond, some people may be eligible.
and they're doing it in the quiet of their own, no one else is seeing it.
I would just think it's ease of use for parents.
Yeah, I mean, we fill everything out online. I'm just a suggestion. Thank you, Ms. Green. Township and Board of Ed Joint Committee, we had a meeting last Friday, and I think it went very well. We discussed different topics. We talked about the fields, we talked about joint services. We did discuss about the webmaster. The town doesn't have a webmaster either, and they were saying that, how difficult, that is. And we also talked about grants and a grant writer, which they do not have either. And there were the borough administrator, he spoke about, there's companies that do it, and it's very costly because you have to give a big piece of the grant to them when you do it. But he had some really good information. It sounds like that they're interested in some joint services with us. They want to work on some projects, some that we're in the talking stages, but not yet to put out to everyone. But I want to thank the mayor and the council members that came. I appreciate the fact that the mayor and the town council is working with the Board of Ed. This is something that our community hasn't had as long as I've been here. So even if we're not in total agreement on everything, we are working together, and I think that's a plus for everybody in West Milford. So I just want to say thank you, and that we have another meeting. Barbara, is it scheduled for June 3rd or 3rd? It's a Friday morning, so thank you. West Milford Municipal Alliance. Pete?
All board members were not present at the meeting as we were here together on the 9th. But in reviewing the notes, I see that they agreed on a vision and a mission statement and have all been accepted. The youth leadership grant has been completed and turned in, so hopefully West Milford can receive more grant money there. And the biggest thing is that this Sunday is the stocked fun run at the rec center.
9 to 12.
Thank you.
Be there Sunday. Thank you. Old business. Anybody have anything for old business? You have something?
Yeah.
Carrie?
I just would like some information about the progress of our website and the branding of our schools to all be Highlanders. Where are we on that?
So the website is on pace for a soft opening this summer. Our current website we have access to until I believe August 31st. Our new one we just purchased, I guess it was at the last meeting. So it'll be a soft opening where, if you look at our current website, it's, I don't know, 10 or 20 years that we've had it, perhaps. So it's got 10 or 20 years worth of information in it. The new one will be starting this summer, and we'll be adding information to it as we go. So some of the information that we have on our current website is perhaps a little dated, or a little out of date. It's just a little out of date. So that will be ported over to the new website. So it may not seem as full as the current website when we open it, but that's because we're getting rid of the material that's no longer needed. And then little by little, we'll just add to it. So we did discuss at the committee meeting last week or 2 weeks ago, a webmaster, a district webmaster. So it's a position we don't currently have. It's a position we probably need as some sort of part-time position. Community member, somebody involved with technology, doesn't necessarily have to be someone on staff now because everybody has a full schedule already. But we talked about adding a webmaster position, a part-time position, to essentially keep the website current beyond day 2, or day 3, or day 4. So we're making progress. We'll do that for the fall. We'll be discussing the position of webmaster again in committee in June. And I hope to have a job description to share with the board that we could potentially look at.
And what about the branding, part? The elementary, to get everybody on board to be Highlanders instead of just Bobcats or Mustangs or whatever they are, to have everyone Highlander. Where are we on that?
Well, the PTA, we discussed it at SRT. It's not really a decision I would feel comfortable making for every local PTA. I wouldn't want to tell all 6 elementary schools what their school color should be or shouldn't be, or what their mascots should be or shouldn't be. There seemed to be a diverse group of opinions there. Some were very favorable to it, some would prefer to keep their existing mascots and colors. So it's going to be difficult, in my opinion, for me to just make a bit.
Well, I think that after last SRT meeting, I felt like the PTAs that were there felt they understood why the black and gold was a necessary thing, and that we were talking, and one of the items that Claire read about the kindergarten kind of brings us to we're phasing it in by making the kindergarten shirts black and gold with the name of the school on it. Kind of gives them that junior Highlander kind of theme to start, and they seem to be, to me, Kate, Claire, you were there too. I felt like they were more in favor of it at that meeting.
I mean, I can read I obviously just briefed what was said in the minutes, but I can read what was written in the whole minute if you would like, and I think this kind of sums it up. So the question was Highlander Pride, can the junior Highlander Pride plan be clarified, was the actual question. And in the minutes it was written, in an effort to start transitioning to black and gold across the entire district, incoming kindergarten classes is a great way to start if PTA, PTOs provide shirts for incoming kindergartners. Another suggestion is to add a black and gold option with the individual school names to spirit wear apparel sales. So the PTOs and the PTAs, they were brainstorming about how they could start transitioning to more black and gold. So maybe transitioning in, instead of just all being junior Highlanders, just starting with the black and gold and then seeing where that brings. And I think the first time it was brought up, which was the month before, I know that I think there was only really one school that really questioned it. Everybody else was kind of for it. And I felt like at the last SRT, the discussion really started. And I think it was where they were all brainstorming. And for the most part, I don't think there was much, I think they were all pretty much on board.
I think they liked the transition idea.
Yeah.
So they could still have their color shirt and their mascot right now, but they were offering the black and gold, they were starting the black and gold with the the kindergartners coming in, and then what they were going to do is they were gonna offer a black and gold shirt on their, with their apparel wear that they sell, and see how it goes, because there are some PTAs and PTOs who already offer a black and gold shirt, and they're starting to pick up the sales.
Yes.
So I think that it's because we do know that some have invested in their apparel wear already as far as logos and things like that. So as a transition, if it works over a few years, then maybe by, say, 4 years, once your kid, if you start with kindergarten, once that kindergartner moves into McApin, by then the transition will have happened and the black and gold will happen. I think that is, and I felt like the PTAs and PTOs felt that that's a great way to unite the community itself, as making us one, instead of being, a district of schools. We're a school district and everybody is united to each other and
We
connected.
have SRT next week, we could certainly add back to the agenda.
Absolutely.
I remember talking about this years ago. We've been talking about branding. Stop adding it to agendas. It's been discussed around and around and around. So, I think if it's something that needs to be voted on, I'll make a motion to make West Milford the Highlanders. Like, let's go. How many times are we gonna talk about the same things at a meeting, put it on another agenda? I don't know if anyone else is tired about talking about the same things, but Kate Romeo is. So, I remember Nicole Fritz was here. We were talking about branding. We talked about our whole district being West Milford Highlanders. So I'll make a motion to make West Milford the Highlanders.
Well, then, before we move forward, I think we have to give them a little time, because they have put money into their PTAs.
Oh, I'm not saying like take away their Panthers and their whatever. I'm saying our website should be the West Milford Highlanders.
Oh, okay.
Our school thing should be the West Milford Highlanders. I'm not saying kids can't wear their blue and red t-shirts to school. I'm saying that how many years does it take to talk about making something a change when everyone was in agreement on it? Right?
If you wanna put a motion,
I think that's what the website is gonna be, right?
right?
Schools are gonna, everything's gonna be
I'm not
black and
sure.
gold on the website.
I'm not sure I understand with,
And I think she wants us
the
to
elementary schools.
the district as a whole is called West Milford, and it's the West Milford Highlanders, which is really what we are.
So the high schools, our athletic teams are the Highlanders. McApin, they don't officially have school sports. The kids play for rec or travel or something. They're often called the Junior Highlanders, but not always. But the elementary schools have a different, in high school, McApin are black and gold. The elementary schools have some different colors.
But I think the one thing that did come out of the strategic plan and meetings was uniting this district as one and being black and gold and Highlanders and junior Highlanders. That is the one thing that I think was common across all three strategic plan and meetings.
And I think the other thing is when the website is planned, the elementary schools and McApin should be included in that one website. So that when you link on the school and you see that elementary school, you'll see that elementary school in black and gold, and it's more unified. Right now, every elementary school has their own Facebook page, their own web page, and it would just be more unified.
Well, they're all gonna be on the webpage, correct?
So every school did our website.
And we're gonna link
We'll
it,
drop
there's gonna
down
be
for
a link.
every school.
They're on the net.
Yeah, they're on there now, but they also have their own.
Well, their PTA does, I don't know if the.
I just want to say one thing too, because I just pulled up the goal. So you're right, Claire, that we did do through New Jersey School Board Association, the strategic planning. And from there, everyone came up with that goal. Number 2 is pride, increase a sense of unity across all schools. And then you set the objectives, develop consistent branding, colors, mascot, right? Upgrade the technology, empower individuals. So you have those goals, and then you have the action plan. The step is then to start doing those action plan updates, which I think then usually
Dr. Amlin, as we implement this, updates the board, right, over 5 years. So I think that I don't think anyone, Kate, is saying we're not gonna move to that, and I know you want it right
I'm taking
now.
what Alex said absolutely to say that he didn't want to move that way. Yes, I took it that way. And
Sound
yes,
And that is,
So,
and that
yeah.
is what is
It sounded
said
better.
in superintendent's roundtable.
Yes.
Yes.
yes, and that was what I heard from parents at the superintendent's roundtable, is that that is not the way that administration wanted to move. However, I believe that that is the way that this board has discussed it for years. I believe that, as Liz just quoted from the strategic planning, that that has been in the plan. And so if I have to skip forward and make a motion so that it is done within a certain timeline, I'll create the timeline tonight in my motion if I have to. Because, like I've said, I know that I don't want to waste my own time anymore or anyone else's.
But then I guess what I'm just saying to the board and to everybody, right, is that then you're kind of, the whole purpose, and you guys know in special ed I'm very process oriented, right? But the whole purpose of doing a strategic plan, having a goal, having an action plan, is then to allow everybody that worked on that to carry that out. So I don't think your motion's gonna criticize that, like, you know, or critique
I'm
it.
just afraid
I think it's
that
just gonna run parallel.
one or two administrators then saying, no, that's not what we want to do, and shutting down things that I felt were already decided. And I say me, because I could really only talk for me, but I could see head nods that other people are upset about this.
I think one of the things that Kate is saying, which came out as we discussed in roundtable, is that as we're moving into a restructuring where things are going to change, this is a turning point for the schools. So this is the time that if we're gonna change branding, this is when we should do it because we're changing things. So yes, it could happen. We understand that it's a transition over time for the shirts, but I agree with what Kate is saying, is that we did identify it in a strategic plan, and if we need a motion to say that that's what it is for the district, then that's what it is, and then maybe that answers the question for everybody, that that's what where we're going.
And I respect every parent that comes to the SRT meetings. Thank you for your time there. But I don't think it needs to go back to SRT. It was there already, and it was already above that at strategic planning, and it was already above that at a board meeting prior. So how many times are we gonna take an issue and bring it backwards and backwards because someone somewhere doesn't wanna do it? I don't know who the someone or somewhere is, but I'm just going to eliminate that piece and say, this has really already been decided. So if it has to go to a vote so that it gets done, I'm willing to put the motion. That's what I'm saying. Thank you.
So you wanna change,
And then I'll come back.
you wanna change the elementary schools to junior hires and black and gold.
And I think, Alex, I think this board would like to see an action plan. We'd like to see the steps that are being taken to ensure that this is done within the 5 years that are in the row.
It doesn't have to happen tomorrow, it needs to be a transition, but we want it on, what I think the board is saying is they want it as part of our plan and our strategic plan to move forward after we've been advised through the strategic plan to make it black and gold and to make it the Highlanders. That's what we came out of the strategic planning to us.
I would say Liz already said, right?
It is part of the strategic.
Yeah,
It's there.
So it's there,
So
we just need,
Thank you for doing that.
a motion.
I just wanna comment, I'd be hesitant to say it doesn't belong back at SRT. And I think what, Claire referred to earlier was an evolution from one meeting to the next, where, you know, there was some hesitancy in the room 2 meetings ago. And then when there was, in the most recent meeting, there was a more in-depth discussion. Can I finish what I'm saying before everyone disagrees unanimously? There was an evolution in that conversation with what, 2 meetings ago, the discussion of the kindergarten t-shirts hadn't come up. I think it was the discussion in that room with the parents, with the stakeholders in the district that led to that evolution. So I'd be hesitant to not allow SRT to continue talking about it. I mean,
That is not at all what I meant.
I need to,
wait.
I do need to clarify something, that the meeting, the first meeting, not the last meeting, the meeting before where it came up. The reason why it came up is because somebody had reached out to the PTO and PTAs to ask them for their mascots and their official colors. we, as board members, didn't know that that had been done. And I started asking the question, why were we asking for mascots and colors from PTAs and PTOs when there was the potential for us to potentially go in a different direction? My concern at that time was PTA and PTOs who fundraise very hard for their money, spending money to come up with a unified color and mascot if that was not what the direction was going in. That didn't really come up as discussion in there. What came up was going into like Highlanders, how they felt going to black and gold. So that's how it came up in that meeting. So the discussion was, and there was a vote taken, we went around the room and asked how everybody felt. I think there was only one school that was really against it. But by the second meeting, I think when we had the more discussion about it, I think they were the ones that put it on as a follow-up. I guess they'd been talking, and they were talking after too, and came up with the plan of the black and gold.
Right.
But it came up in the first original meeting because they had been asked for their colors and their mascots to clarify, because you wanted, I guess, administration wanted them to have like cobalt blue. So I'm going to use the Mustangs as a reference because I know they're blue. But give me the actual color of the blue that you're using and the official mascot, because obviously sometimes there's more than one Mustang.
More than one blue, too.
And more than one blue.
Yeah, it has.
So that's how it originally came up in that first meeting, because we as board members had no idea that that had even been discussed or asked of the PTO PTAs, and we were confused because we thought that we were going in a different direction. Per the strategic plan.
Why don't I just update the board at the next meeting where we'll take this feedback, we'll bring it back, we'll speak to we'll speak to the PTAs, and it sounds like we're gonna have 8 schools that are Highlanders or junior Highlanders, 8 schools that are black and gold.
I think the goal is to unite our district and make it one, and that's something that each person here, and I believe each administrator also here, feels is something that's necessary. We're going to be going through this restructuring, and as we make these changes, this is the time to do it, because we need to show the community that we are one, and that we're one school district, that we're not a district of 6 elementaries and a middle school and a high school. We're West Milford, and we're West Milford Highlanders, and we're proud to be that. And I feel that the committee, that the SRT gave very good input, and I think that they ran with it when they came back to us with the kindergarten t-shirt. I think it shows that they really want to do that. I really do believe it. And it's a money issue. There's no doubt about it. People are laying money out for t-shirts and sweatshirts, and they don't want to do it. You know, we want to make sure that somebody doesn't get hung out to dry on something like that. So I agree. I think we can clearly go and come back, and I think we should talk in committee and recommend a motion next meeting to do what we're looking to do. But we'll get the feedback by then. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Terry. Anyone else under old business? Mr. Guarino.
So, I don't know whether or not the public knows this, but we do have a baseball field. And the baseball field is in dire straits, I feel sometimes, but hopefully, and I think it will look great tomorrow night. So tomorrow night is Little League Family Night and Senior Night, and I think maybe that's the opportunity for us to kind of have that field shine a little bit. We're gonna have dunk tanks, and food trucks, and all kinds of fun stuff from 4:30 on through, I think the game starts at 6:30.
I think we're gonna have hundreds of people there. I really do. We won't be there because we're gonna be at a concert, but.
What's that?
What the day is fancy, so we can do that.
Yeah.
Supposed to be really hot.
Yeah. So it should be a good, fun time for.
I think it starts at 6 o'clock, right?
Game starts at 6:30.
What's that?
6:30, Kilgallen.
Yeah.
It'll be live streamed.
It'll be
Oh,
live
it'll be
stream.
live stream too, but it's always better to watch live.
Yes.
A live stream. So,
And it will be a fun night out for your kids too, so.
they have done some work there and cleared out some hills, so I think you have some good sight lines for the game.
Kate, you had something else for old business?
No, not a good business, thank you.
No one else under old business?
Seeing as none, I'd like to make a motion to close old business.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
New business. Anybody have new business?
I just started to say last night, the high school Immaculate Jazz Band performance concert was amazing. Tonight's Immaculate Chorus concert was amazing as always. And I'm really looking forward to the band concert tomorrow night at the high school auditorium.
And it is great having it in the high school for it because it has all three levels together and I think it really.
Yeah, it was crowded. I'm really hoping for a much better calendar next year. So I apologize for not being here at the beginning of the meeting. But also just like a district calendar and hopefully like, I don't know, maybe all band events can be on Wednesday night.
So we're gonna get a walk at Tuesday board meetings, and we had conflict, so apologies for that. All the end of school concerts are
Yeah,
in the same 2-3 week period, so it does get crowded. June, December's probably crowded, September's crowded with back to school, so there's different hotspots during the year.
Any other new business?
I just wanted to congratulate Maple Road, who just got, it was just announced that they were one of 50 schools that got the National School of Character.
Congratulations. Mr. Kane is here. Wearing his blue. Congratulations. Anything else for new business? If not, I need a motion.
Motion to close new business.
Second.
All those in favor? Public comment. This portion of the meeting is open to members of the public having a legitimate interest in the actions of the board for the purpose of addressing any subject matter pertinent to and or directly related to the operation of the West Milford Public School District. Members of the public who have requested to speak prior to the meeting will be recognized by the chair first. Each speaker will be given 5 minutes for a period of 30 minutes. Then, time permitting, other public comment limited to 5 minutes per speaker will be allowed until the 30-minute time period transpires. All speakers are asked to sign the register provided and give their full name, spell their last name, group affiliation if appropriate, and provide their address. The issues raised by members of the public may or may not be responded to by the board. All comments will be considered and a response will be forthcoming if and when appropriate. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and respectful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Specifically, comments regarding students and employees of the board are discouraged, and the board and the administration will not respond to them. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded to them by the laws of New Jersey. The board is not responsible for and is not liable for any comment made by members of the public. Members of the public should consider their comments in the light of the legal rights of those affected or identified in their comments. Members of the public are reminded that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Anyone wishing to speak under public comment, come forward, please.
You know, my whole time, William Sidens, Mackin Road, West Milford, my whole time of ever coming up here, I never really planned to speak, it just kind of happened. My fault. So, the first thing I'd like to speak about is branding. Now, I know that many moons ago when Ms. Van Dyke and Mrs. Wire and I had attended the branding, the school that was used as the model did have different animals under their banner and it was really color reflective. I know that bobcats aren't really red, but they are golden. There are black animals like bears, so you know, something to kind of ease into the transition if it makes sense to. In terms of baseball fields, darn skippy, we have baseball fields, we have plenty of fields, and it's difficult to maintain them. But I know that the negotiations between the council and the Board of Education are still continuing. It may be worthwhile to see if open space grants are available for the Board of Education. I don't know if there's a limitation, but the township really developed the open space fund, so they kind of have the ability to change the wording if needed. And at the budget meetings, I know that Dr. Amon said that it is pretty far-fetched to think, not verbatim, but it is far-fetched to think that the funding for West Milford is going to change. I 100% agree with that. But I also agree with Ms. Lockwood that you continue to advocate. Now, the New Jersey School Board Association has a delegate assembly twice a year, I believe, and that might be coming up in the fall. Now, at that delegate assembly, all the districts of New Jersey gather together, they send a representative, and those representatives have the ability to propose a resolution to the New Jersey School Board. Now, when a resolution is approved at that delegate assembly, the New Jersey School Board Association will advocate on your behalf to the legislature, whether it be in the Senate or whether it be in the Assembly. And there, I feel lies an opportunity for whether this board or all boards or the connection of some boards get together to kind of do something that seems universally acceptable to all boards, whether they are or aren't getting funding. And that is transparency in the school funding formula, which is mysterious, might be written in hieroglyphics, I really don't know. But the truth of the matter is, nobody has that answer of how schools are funded, truly. And if somebody does, they may have whizzed through calculus in high school and college and beyond, and hopefully they could explain it in layman's terms, layperson's terms. So my hope is that maybe there is an opportunity like that where there could be a resolution brought to the New Jersey School Board Assembly for a transparency of the school funding formula. And that is it. I'm just going to finish my address here.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak during public comment? If not,
We've got a motion, please. Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, well, we don't have the executive session, so I need a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn
Second.
at
10:41.
7:41.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good night, see some of you tomorrow.